All right, thank you. It's actually very nice to be here. I was supposed to have this talk with Ezine. Do I have your attention? Thank you. So I was supposed to have this talk with Ezine. First of all, shout out to Ezine. Please, could we give her a round of applause? She couldn't make it today, so I'm going to be doing this on my own. So before I start, a disclaimer. When I got to find out that I was doing this with somebody, I got really excited. And the reason is because this is my first time speaking. And so I was like, should in case I faint or I just pass out, they will carry me outside and she will just continue. They will not come and drag me now, Abby. At least. But unfortunately, I'm here. So we're going to do it together, right? So I'm hoping we have fun. I'm hoping that you're open to have fun, because I want to have fun. All right? All right. So first things first, my name is Prince. I don't like Prince, so it's not Prince. My name is Prince Onyeanuna, and I am a technical writer, and I currently work for Pi Squared. And a bit of myself. I started technical writing about 2 years ago, and I've been contributing to open source for the same amount of time. Started off with the Technical Writers Mentorship Program, which is led by Wisdom Wokocha. If you are a technical writer or you know about the space, you should know him. And then I moved on to OpenMRS and then AsyncAPI. So what's my story with AsyncAPI? So last year, I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw a tweet from Kidzali. Kidzali is a core contributor to AsyncAPI. And then she called for mentorship. She was like, the AsyncAPI mentorship, they had openings and technical writing was part of the track. And I was like, okay, let me apply. So I applied, I sent the application to my friends. Lo and behold, they were like, okay, you're good. Let's have an interview. I scheduled a time. I went to bed, I woke up, and the first mail I saw was, oh, sorry, Prince, you just missed your interview. Okay. And I had to go check the details, and I saw that I actually set it for 1 a.m. and I wanted to do it for 1 p.m. I ran to Slack, because I joined the Slack community, and I reached out to Kidzali and I told her what happened. She's like, oh, no problem, let's set another time, right? So she's in PST, and she was like, let's set another time. I said, okay, cool, very good. So I set the time, right? When it was time, I got on the meet, and I was waiting, and I kept waiting, and she didn't show up. So I reached out back on Slack. Hey, Kidzali, what's happening? I'm on meet. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, you're actually 1 hour early. I think you're struggling with time difference. I don't think we can continue with this. Continue with you in this program. So that was done. There was a lot of back and forth. Oh, please, can I do blah, 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 blah. Well, you know work. Now, fast forward to last year, I reached out to Kidzali randomly, right? A lot of things have changed, right? I'm no longer a beginner, and there's a lot of things under my belt. So I just reached out to her, reminded her of the incident, told her, oh, this is what I do now, and all of that. And she honestly couldn't even remember. But we just connected, became very close friends on LinkedIn. And when the opportunity for this mentorship program came up, she was like, yo, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. So she sent the application form. I applied, and I got in. So yeah, so that's the story of how my journey is with AsyncAPI. Now the next question you might have in your mind is, why exactly are we having this talk? So basically this talk is about my experience contributing to AsyncAPI as a technical writer through the AsyncAPI mentorship program, right? And if you know, and if you have contributed to open source before, you will know that when it comes to contributing, it's mostly left for developers. Hacktoberfest is coming up. You see that a lot of people contributing are going to say, oh, I'm contributing to code. But I'm standing here as a testament that you can actually contribute to writing in open source, 1. 2, I'm standing here to share my experience with how my contribution was with the program. And 3, because I just want to be in front of you today. Right? So, let's go. What exactly is the AsyncAPI mentorship program? Basically, it's an initiative that helps guide individuals into contributing to open source. Right? That's the entire idea. And now the program is not just left for coding or writing, there's also design. Initially when it started it was just for coding, right? But now it opens up to other tracks. And it's structured this way. So a couple of projects are brought up in the community, and then part of these projects are selected as what people will contribute to and what people will fix. And then we have a couple of mentors, people that apply to be mentors. These are people that have good track record. They have a number of years of experience with contributing to open source and stuff like that. And then you have people like me who have experience in their field and are willing to contribute. They are enthusiastic about it. So they are not beginners. So you're not coming to learn how to write or how to code. You already know how to, but you're just enthusiastic about contributing to open source. So that's the general idea. So say, for example, I applied for the writing track. For me, I was paired to a couple of mentors, and I had somebody like AsyncAPI. So we graduated from this together. So AsyncAPI, I, and Anushka, she's Indian, we're all under the technical writing track. And if you see here, this is a list of the projects that were accepted for the 2024 AsyncAPI mentorship, right? And then this is for writing. So we had 2 projects for coding, I think about 6, and for design, there was just 1. And Olumide, shout out to Olumide, I think he's here. Olumide, he contributed to design. Right? That's Olumide at the back. Okay, so basically I'm going to share my challenges, a couple of things that I struggled with before I go into more technical stuff. And the first was making research with community feedback. Now, if you looked carefully, let me go backtrack a bit. If you look carefully, you see that the first project that was selected was onboarding contributor guides, and the second one was expanding AsyncAPI community documentation. And if you know how technical writing works, you do not make contributions or you don't make any changes to community docs without interacting with the community. You need feedback. And I struggle with it because of the kind of person that I am. I will explain. If you asked me, how long have you been in tech? I will tell you 2 years. You know when they say it's when you blow up that you actually start your journey. But the background story is actually about 6 years, because I've been doing this way back since when I was in school. And it was only like 2 years ago since everything turned around. Well, about a year ago, I don't know. Right? So in that long span time, is that entire time, this is the second tech event I'm attending. I don't come outside. I would prefer to handle documentation, do what I have to do, pass it, hey, thank you, and I'm out, right? So imagine having the opportunity to create your PR, and then you're posting it on the Slack channel, and you'll be like, hey everyone, I just wrote this, I'm looking for your feedback. I will write this PR, and I will hold it. And I will have to ask AsyncAPI, please, how did you post your message? Let me look at it. I kid you not. And I will just hold it. I'm like, hey God, what if nobody says anything? Yeah, so I struggle with that. And the second one is navigating the AsyncAPI GitHub repository. So, I don't know if anyone has been on the AsyncAPI community repository before, but it's very large. Okay, right now there are changes to folder structures, making it accessible. But when I joined, because the first week when you join, or the first month, we're asked to go through onboarding guides. It was a lot. You were going through a rabbit hole. And I thought that was where it was going to end. I was assigned a task to create a guide for using GitHub Actions, and I had to go to the .github repository, and I was going through YAML files, and I was just going and going, and it's a lot, and they have multiple repositories that you have to gather information from, and I struggled with that for a while. There's no cure for that one. You just have to struggle with it. It's information you're gathering. So that's that. And the last one is this PR good enough? So at the end of this program, I'll tell you how many documentations I wrote. But one of the things I struggled with was when I have this document ready. Say, for example, I was assigned a task on Monday last week, and I was done with it by Thursday or Friday-ish. I would hold on to that document, and I would just hold it and have it. And we'll have check-ins, and I'll say, oh yeah, I'm still working on it. And because I'm like, does this make sense? What am I going to say inside? Because obviously you're working with a mentor, and your work is going to get reviewed. So I would hold on to that for a while. All these ones are my personal problem. They are not problems that will affect you if you don't have all these ones. So now, let's move on to more challenging stuff. So, I thought I knew Git. Yeah. I actually, if you've actually done open source, if you do it for a while and you go really deep into it, you realize that Git and GitHub is not just pull and push. Let's just leave it at that. You're not just pulling and pushing. Now, tell me, what is Git squashing? Has anybody heard of Git squashing before? Okay, very good. Now that was the same question I asked myself. Because at this time, okay, let's read this message. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but I had 25 commits on a particular branch, and most of them had the same commit message because there were just very few changes. You're writing, so they like change this, add this, and most of them had the same commit messages. So my mentor, his name is Antonio. Shout out to Antonio. I hope he gets to see this. So he was like, you have 25 commits and most of them have the same commit message. So you have to squash, basically, just using terms, merge these commits all into one. So he gave me two. He was like, 1, 2, 3 should all go into one. And there were two documentation files that had this commit message here. They should all go into one. He gave me YouTube link. He said, go there and learn it. I said, okay, no wala. Now the question is, did I do it? I did not do it well. Let me be honest. All right, this is what I said. I said, hey Anthony, I really tried to get my hands dirty. I tried squashing, but I don't think I got it right. I asked him to check if it's better now. And I think I made some, but I don't know. I'm conflicted. I did speak grammar. I did rubbish, basically. It's not rubbish like that. Wait, people are laughing too. It's not rubbish like that. I tried. I actually did the squashing, right? But so you didn't squash all of it? No, exactly. Because when you it did not squash well, basically. So I told him about this, and he was like, okay, no problem, I'll handle it. So he checked out what I did, what I sent in, and he just reverted my changes, fixed it, and he was like, okay, you have to actually do more and check it out more. Okay. So that was one of the first problems. This one you might encounter it. This is a general problem. Now, the second issue is duplicating information. Now, I'm contributing to a community that has existed for a long time. So basically, there's nothing new I'm going to add. For example, I was asked to create a guide on Slack etiquette. This community has existed. They had Slack community. So you are not the first person that is writing Slack etiquette. I literally saw a guide called Slack etiquette, and they asked me to create a new one. I went to that guide. I read that guide. I created my own. I gathered information. And then my mentor was like, you cannot have two guides. And me, I was thinking, this one is at the root folder of the repository, and the other one is inside another folder that's going to get deployed to our website. So I was thinking, okay, this one will be on the website, this one will be on the GitHub repository. It's like, no, it's basically the same information. So you can't have that. All you have to do is merge them into one. That's one. Now, two. So this duplicating information, it happens in two ways. This is when you have excess information on one repository. And now, I mentioned that I was asked to work on the GitHub, utilizing GitHub Actions, right? A guide to help you with GitHub Actions. So I had to go to the .github folder where all the workflows are. Now I'm talking about almost 15. So I created a table with the name of all the workflows and what they do. So you have this community repository that has my documentation, and then you have the .github repository that has all the workflows. Question: if a developer adds a new workflow, who is going to update the file? So you're replicating information basically. So the idea is, take out that table from there, right? Add a link to the .github repository. And what you have to do is all the one-line definitions you have on the table, you take it out and you put it on the YAML files. So at the start of every YAML file, you add a comment and you add what they do. So anybody that is using your YAML file just sees it at the top. This is for this workflow is for this, and they know what you're doing. That way you're not replicating information, and that way you're guiding the user. Makes sense, Abby? Okay. So that was the plan. All right, this picture is for when I merged the Slack etiquette guide and all. So at the end of this, I was able to handle 5 guides of the task I was assigned to me. It's a good place to clap. I tried. Thank you. Thank you. I handled 5 guides, right? And this was a lot. I urge you to actually check out the community website. It's actually a lot, and we did very good job. So shout out to Tuli. Thank you so much. Shout out to Tuli and all. And now, what got sharper? So before I got to AsyncAPI, I worked with OpenMRS, right? And currently I work for another company. So I could say in my own mind that I don't good for this thing. But I got here and I was like, there's a lot. There's actually a lot. So what got better? What skill got sharper? First of all, I got better at communication. So when we started the program, the communication between the mentors, the mentees was very poor, that we had to set up a Slack bot that will remind us every Monday, just tell us what you're doing. Say something. That's one. And two, we had to have check-ins, bi-weekly check-ins. Let's just talk, right? And this is very important, especially in open source, because most times you're not paid, right? Most times you're not paid to do these things. So it's very important that you say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing. Nobody's fighting you actually, but you just have to give updates, right? I got better at that. Because me, I would rather not talk. I'll just hold on to my document, and when I'm ready, I'll just send it. Now, the second one is, I think I got better at Git, or maybe just Git caution. I don't know, but I learned something, right? I learned that. The third one is my ability to accept feedback. I saw comments, a lot of comments. I'd create a document and I'll have over 10 comments. I would have used Pigeon, but I had to go back and rework what you've done. So you have to have a very open mindset to when you actually receive comments. Okay, maybe it's not like you're not good, though. You just have to do better. I'm sorry, I'm almost switching to Pigeon, but let's keep it clean. Okay, and the last one is my ability to give reviews got better. So I don't know if I mentioned, currently I am one of the co-leads of the Technical Writers Mentorship Program. It's also an open source community for technical writers. And so we recently worked on our website, and I was in charge of the migration. We migrated from Hugo to Dockersaurus. And now they gave me the ability to, okay, I'm in charge, so I'm handling reviews. Do you know that, I don't know if any of you have worked with GitHub on open source before, but there's a way you can add single line comments I struggled with that for a while until I finally got it. I finished them. I learned it now. I've learned it now, so I'm like, okay. Anything I wanted to edit, there's a plus sign. I'll just go there, click on it. Oh yeah. Should I start one line comment? I will start from the beginning. No, let's not go there. But yeah, that got better too, so I knew how to give feedback because I received very good feedback from my wonderful mentors. So that's one plus there. So what's next? I've cashed out. It's paid. It's a paid program, so I've collected my money. One. I'm also going to be contributing to the community because it's actually a wonderful place to be. I aim to be a maintainer, right? I aim to be a maintainer, and that's what's next for me. Now, what is next for you? Because the idea is, I'm not just coming here to talk to you about this program. I'm giving you a glimpse of what it looks like. It's actually fun, and it's actually cool. So, the idea is, after this, you should get curious to want to join, right? Contributing in whatever level you can, okay? And it's very flexible because we started this program we started this program since last year, I think ending of last year, and we just wrapped up this month, right? So it's very flexible and you could work with your time and your schedule. You just have to be accountable and it works. So yeah. You can connect with me. Yeah, I think I'm online on these places. Yeah, you can connect with me. And basically that's it. So I am open for your questions if you have any. I'm hoping you do.
I have a question.
You cannot be asking questions too late.
Do you have any questions? Oh yes, there is one. Oh, I wrote. I know you hate to see me coming.
That's too late.
Alright, so actually one of the mentors, I'm sure maybe some of the nightmares you mentioned they might have came from me. But yeah, I wanna ask, like, what advice would you give, like, to contributors or even mentors when it comes to feedback? Because I know, like you said, receiving feedback is not easy. So, like, what advice would you give, like, from your own personal experience as well?
Okay. Because she asked for my personal experience, let me tell you what I would do. You know, whenever you get comments on your work on GitHub, you receive the email. So when I see like 25 emails coming inside at once, I will just look at it and close it first. I'll take like 1 hour or 2 hours, then if I go back, I'll look at it again and close it first. So just take your time, right? The more you let it settle in, that they give you feedback because you did work, right? It gives you another perspective to look at it. So you did not do rubbish, you actually did something. Just let's make it better. But take your time, don't rush it. Because if you have plenty comments, I had plenty comments, that's why I will take time. So that's what I will say. Take your time and be open to it. That's all. Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hi.
So my question is, I'm currently on the channel, but I'm seeing the design and other things, but I can't find one for developers.
For developers. Right. You say what channel, sorry?
So I mean your channel on Slack.
Slack channel?
Yeah, AsyncAPI.
Yeah.
I'm currently on it, but I'm seeing various channels, announcements, introductions, and the likes. I can see designs, but I can't see one for developers.
It should be there because Docs has a channel. Tuli,
Yes, definitely.
what's the name of the channel for developers? Do we have on our Slack community? What's the name of the channel? You know, Docs, we have a channel, right?
Yes.
So what's the name? So he wants to join the channel.
Okay. Yeah. So we have different channels that cater to different people. So if it's for developers, we have a website channel dedicated for the AsyncAPI website. We have a dedicated channel for AsyncAPI conference website.
Sure.
So it depends where exactly you want to contribute. So if you are going for docs, we have a job channel, like Princess mentioned. If you are doing design, product design, UX, UI, you have a dedicated design channel. Then if it's website, we have a dedicated 2 websites actually, one for conference and one for the main AsyncAPI website.
Okay, so
But if you are lost, just feel free to DM me. I think that I'm the first person you get to see on Slack, so just let me know.
Right.
THULI